Hey everyone, I'm going to be talking today about triangle patterns in crypto trading. This is something that can actually improve your win rate quite significantly because for a lot of these patterns, you can actually see the back-tested stats of how often they break out in the predicted direction. A lot of these are well into the 60, 70, 80% chances of a follow through in the direction that's predicted. We're going to talk a little bit about these different triangle patterns. Now, something to know is they are sometimes in different sizes, but they all follow a more or less triangular shape. And there's a reason for that. I'll teach you a bit about that deeper aspect of what triangle patterns indicate on a deeper, maybe even psychological level in the crypto market, right? Because when we have triangles, that means the price is partially going up, but it's also partially going down. So there is an aspect of uncertainty where the whole point is we're waiting for the breakthrough or the breakdown. Okay. Now, with these patterns, we have three main types, I'd say. Ascending, meaning they are going upwards, descending, and then symmetrical. And like I said, if you correctly interpret them, they do actually have a predicted value or percentage chance that they will follow through in the planned direction. Okay. And of course, once you spot and draw out these triangle patterns on your chart, it will be very easy to set your entry and exit points because you can actually predict the actual follow through, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Right now, I just want to go through the main triangle patterns that you're going to see. There's the pennant, okay? This usually has a flatter base and a slanted top, okay, at least in the upward example. We can also have a bearish pennant. So a bearish pennant, in opposition to this example, will actually be the same exact thing except going downwards, right? Where the previous movement is what predicts the follow through. So if your pennant is, here, well, now we're predicted to draw downwards. But if we're already going up, right, and then we have our pennant, then we're predicted to go higher. Okay, so that's how it works in terms of where the follow through is has to do with where the actual starting point is, okay, and what the move leading up to the triangle formation was. We have the ascending triangle, descending triangle. So some of you might already start to get confused here. Well, what's different between a pennant and a ascending triangle or a descending triangle? Looks pretty similar. Well, one of the big differences is actually the size difference. Okay, pennants tend to be much, much smaller in size, whereas ascending and descending triangles tend to be bigger. Symmetrical triangle can usually come in a lot of shapes, but usually it's a pattern that also takes more time to build up. So it will be a little bit bigger with more candles leading to the buildup of a symmetrical triangle pattern. This is one of the most popular patterns, by the way. What's very interesting with the symmetrical pattern compared to some of these other ones is the symmetrical triangle pattern actually just has a 50% chance of moving upward or a 50% chance of moving downward. Okay. So here, the previous move doesn't even really matter leading up to the pattern because what matters is which side we break through. Okay, so you don't typically want to, long or short until there is a clear breakdown or breakout of a symmetrical triangle. And then we have the flag, which is not technically a triangle, but it is placed in the same category with these patterns where, we're going to have basically two parallel lines, right? And this one will work very similarly to the pennant. So if we're uptrending before and then we see a flag pattern, right? So literally it will look like a little bit of a flag stick, right? We had our market movement, then a flag, right? Which a lot of people think we're going to get a breakdown because we're pulling back, but no, that's just a flag pattern. Then we move higher, okay? And then same thing in reverse, right? So if we're moving lower and then we actually get the flag pattern, usually we get the follow through lower there as well. So that's a very quick, brief overview of these patterns, and I just wanted to spot some of you, spot some of these on the actual chart here before I finish up this video. I want to see if you can spot this yourself. Take a look, guys. Very quickly, you should be able to spot multiple pennant patterns on Bitcoin's chart. And when these patterns repeat themselves like this in a steady way, this is also known as a fractal. But the main basic pattern are all pennant patterns, okay? Look at this. Previous moves upward, we got the pennant pattern, we got a follow through, okay? And you can actually see this playing out perfectly as well based on the example. Let me go ahead and see if I can find another example here. Right here, this is a perfect example of a bearish flag pattern. So very similar to what I explained, we got the initial move lower, right? Flag pattern, and then continuation lower as well. The main way you can predict these patterns is actually a pretty nifty technique where you actually can draw out the previous move, okay, leading up to the pattern, and then extend it lower, and you'll see that we actually exactly hit the estimated point of breakdown, okay? So you can see how accurate here this was afterwards. When you're actually drawing triangle type patterns, the way you can estimate the actual size of the move is through drawing your pattern first and foremost, okay? So let's see here. It looks like we do have a bit of a symmetrical triangle right here. And the way you're actually going to draw this is you're going to go top to bottom for the prediction purposes. So go from the top to the bottom, and then you extend it out when you get your breakout, okay? So when you get your breakout, just place the line that you drew out, and you can see here we actually overshot the prediction, but you would have caught most of the move, which is over 50%, if you would have used the correct prediction technique. And don't forget to join the Mastermind Trade Club free Telegram group if you like what I'm doing and you want to join a community of dedicated traders. Thank you for watching, everybody.